All right, so let's talk about Mike Alvarado versus Ruslan Provodnikov. This is going to be a great fight. You got Mike Alvarado, who's coming off of that win versus Brandon Rios. A lot of people were surprised. I don't really know why. Number one, I feel like Mike Alvarado was really putting in some good work against Rios the first fight. He was really setting him up with the jab, hitting him with uppercuts. I mean, he was really catching Rios a lot up until obviously Rios was able to land some big shots and stop him. But I knew that if they fought again, that Mike Alvarado had a great chance. I mean, you should always favor the boxer, the guy who's the better boxer, over the brawler in a rematch like that. So it wasn't a surprise that he was able to make a couple of tweaks and beat Brandon Rios. Okay, so Mike Alvarado, very underrated fighter. He's always going to be underrated, but he's a solid fighter who could beat a lot of guys out there. Uh, let's talk about Ruslan Provodnikov. Here's a guy who's coming off of that great fight with Timothy Bradley. He lost to Timothy Bradley, but still put on a fantastic show. And before that fight, he was having a string of knockouts. So Ruslan is a really good fighter. It's good to see him starting to get some media attention. And the winner of this fight is definitely going to be in line for a big fight next. Um, I mean, by default, because I mean, the top ranked stable is just looking smaller and smaller every day. If you're one of the few guys who are putting on good fights over there at top rank, I guess you could say the positive thing is that you're gonna get a big fight um, within that whole top rank, small little big four that they got going on over there, that they're just trying to recycle fights with. So, um, the winner of this fight is gonna get some big fights, man. Um, who do I think is gonna win this fight? Well, when you look at both of these fighters, man, we look at the opposition that they've been in there with, similar opposition. But I got to give the edge to Ruslan Provodnikov. I mean, here's a guy who just got out the ring with Timothy Bradley, and when you're able to fight Timothy Bradley and put on that good of a show, to the extent where people are sitting here trying to make a case that he won. I mean, it was a close fight. I think Timothy Bradley won the fight, but the fact of the matter is, Ruslan was in there with a great boxer. And when you're in there with good fighters like that, usually, iron sharpens iron. And a lot of times you could walk away from a fight like that and just have a lot more tools in the toolbox, know how to adjust to different styles, look at the tape and realize things that you could have did, or even take some things that your opponent was doing that you never seen someone else do before. And I feel like he's going to come out of that fight being a much better fighter. I really think this guy's ready to wreak some havoc. I really do. Um, and I think that there's a lot of ways he could beat Mike Alvarado. I mean, he could just see how Rios was landing on Alvarado. And I mean, this guy Ruslan Provodnikov, in my opinion, is a better boxer than Rios. He has more ways to get inside than Brandon Rios does. So I feel like he could do the same thing, smother Mike Alvarado, and then I feel like the power of this guy is just on another level. I mean, this guy really has power. Uh, I mean, he really had Timothy Bradley dazed and confused. I mean, Timothy Bradley wasn't even speaking too straight after that fight. So, um, whenever you could really hurt a guy like Timothy Bradley, who doesn't have the best chin in the world, but I mean, the guy still has a lot of heart, But whenever you could really hurt Timothy Bradley like that, and you got some pop on you. So I think it's gonna be a good fight. I really do. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and take Ruslan Provodnikov by, I'm gonna say, seventh round TKO. All right, I think that either the referee is gonna go ahead and stop it or the corner is gonna stop it. Mike is just there to get hit. I mean, he really is there to get hit. Not a whole lot of head movement. He's gonna try to stay on the outside, but he's a guy who could also abandon the game plan at times once he starts getting hit. So I feel like once Provodnikov really touches him, he could definitely get into one of these slug fights and I don't really see him walking out a slug fight with Provodnikov with the victory. So that's what I'm going with. Um, who do you guys think is gonna win this fight? Let me know what y'all think. Peace.